Welcome to awe and wonder and curiosity in this moment. So start by arriving to this moment. My breath is the easiest way for me to contact with what's here and now, because it brings me to my body and sensations in my body that are changing constantly. So breathe into whatever is here and now for you, what's ever in this moment. And as we explore with curiosity our bodies, the awe and wonder, the power of compassion, I don't know if you, yeah, there's so much tension and fear and intensity in the US right now, but I think in the world, there's like this contraction, and it's so tempting to try to sort of pry that open, starting with ourselves. That I love that we like to remind ourselves, it's like there are no shoulds here. There's only being with. That's really the only way in for me, and it seems to be a very common phenomena. Like, for example, right now, just put your hand in a fist and make it really, really, make it a tight fist. And then use your other hand to try to pull it open. Now, what happens when you try to pull that open? I did not think of this, by the way. I wish I could credit the person who did. But try to pull that fist open. What happens? I feel, I'm not going to tell you what I feel. I'm going to let you do it right now. Try to prevent. Give it all you can. Okay. So, and now go like this. Oh, okay, the people are are listening to the recording. Going like this means to instead of using your other hand to try to pry it open, just hold your hand over top of the fist. You can add some presence and compassion in there, and you don't have to. The effect is pretty darn quick, somatically. So, give that little fist a break. Thank you for helping me do that gentle little body example of the power of presence and compassion compared to force. Starting with ourselves. We've got these things that we've been working on cultivating for how many years? And I say 50 years in my life. I'd make progress along the way, but something else happened in my life that kind of flattened me, kind of pushed me towards compassion or death, forcing, making something or other people do what I want was like going to be the death of me. So we come to things when we're ready to come to them. So bring a loving hand around your whole body, saying, it's okay, honey, you're doing fine. Whether people enjoy you or not has nothing to do with you. Easy to say, hard to believe. And just show up for yourself right now with, like, I know this happened, and here's where we are now. What are we going to do with that? Are we going to keep on trying to force it to be something it's not? Or are we going to hold it with presence, compassion? And I'm so curious what happens to me when I do that. And sometimes it's just, it's you're not ready for it, but you can sit there with a friend, listen to them cry, listen to their experience. And it's a gift. I listened to a friend yesterday. It's passionately making a series, a television series about peace and resolution and conflict, and somebody was fired on the set without any dialogue, and he was so upset because he walks the talk. You could see the intensity of, like, no, we gotta stop repeating this way we treat each other, the way we just dispose of each other. How to be with that without just saying, you shouldn't feel that way. Of course you should feel that way. Hold yourself. To be with a friend like that, just listening. And that's just one example. I'm sure you have 100 examples. If you have trouble bringing compassion and presence to yourself, it's the power of listening with presence to a friend who's really struggling, who's really suffering, really feels passionately about something. It's so hard to run up against these systems. This things are set up with this a lack of compassion. So it's so curious. It's so awe-inspiring when we can hold our hands around somebody. We can hold them while they struggle. And we can do that with ourselves as well. Maybe we have to practice with others first. And then these beautiful neutral people, who knows when, if we're, many of us are around big groups of people today. I'm thinking of one friend in particular. May she bring compassion to herself as she works with being there for others, holding the space. So as we offer it to people we don't know, that was an example of offering it to people we don't know very well yet. And then people that I walk by as I walk today, just letting my body relax, seeing how that impacts them. It's amazing. It does. Give it a try. And then with people that trigger us, that are harder to love, the political situations in the world that may not be hard to find somebody that triggers us. But just think if we could meet them with a protective use of force. Just holding them as they flail around in this, like, insanity. And then all beings in the world, What happens? Try it. What happens when we relax our body, when we hold the world with compassion, when we bring our sense of peace and we move from our needs rather than the strategies that we think will meet those needs. And we keep on coming back to what our values are, what's most important to us, and have that inform our day. Thank you so much.